Hey YouTubers, this is George here at Vinyl Rescue. Another video on my Rega Planner 2. More precisely about the Tonearm, the RB300 I bought off of eBay a few months back. Had an issue with it. Initially I didn't see it until after I made a couple of videos. Nobody made any remarks about it because maybe they didn't catch it like I did. What it was when I got the protector on there, when the album was turning, instead of the head shell or toner going up and down with the album, the cantilever was doing just this instead, riding along instead of going up and down like this as a whole. It sounded okay, but something in the back of my mind said something doesn't look right. So I dug into some forums, watched a couple of videos, and people said it might have been possibly too much stiffness due to the rewiring if it's not done correctly. Well, I had done it, and because I'd used the Cardus Litz wiring, and it's pretty much about as thin as you can go compared to the OCC that I was trying to do. So, and I tore down the Tonearm right here. I took this outer plate here off after taking off this nut on the end of the bearing shaft, and I discovered that now I know why they sold it. They was having issues with it, and rather than fixing, they just sold it. So somebody had tightened down the bearing too tight, and it wasn't free floating like it was supposed to do. You know, when you're trying to adjust it, it should just be floating. Well, this thing, yeah, it does have a good resistance, but when I was setting my tracking force, it was very inconsistent. It would take forever to settle down, and sometimes if I do it again, it would be off like 4 or 5 grams. Not grams. Like if I was trying to set it to 2.0, it would be like at 2.5 one time, 2.10 the next time, 1.95 the next. It was just very inconsistent, and I had a hard time trying to get it set right. Then when I loosened up that bearing and just tightened it up where it was, you know, not being loose or anything, then I actually saw the cantilever ride with the album, rather the cartridge was actually riding in the grooves rather than just the cantilever going up and down because the Tonearm was too stiff. This is just an example of what I'm talking about. I'll try to throw in a little clip of an earlier video that I did to show exactly what I'm talking about. So I need an 8mm wrench to get this nut off. I got a little whiny chihuahua wanting my attention. Let me pause here. Alright, so I got the nut off of there, and I believe this, I don't know what the exact size on this Allen wrench is. I think it's like a 1.5 or something like that. So, but inside here you're going to see there's a flat spring in here, and it sort of does come undone, but if you're careful enough and you got a nice set of tweezers, you can set it back in place when you push the plate back on here to get the nut started. But from here you can actually loosen up. I'm not going to take the plate off. Well, actually, let's do so everybody can see what it looks like. I read one comment that if the spring comes undone, just throw it all away because it's trashed. Well, if you got enough common sense, you can fix it yourself. Restring the spring, or there we go. There's one. But you don't have to take this plate off in order to adjust the screw for the bearings. But I'm just going to take this off to show. So you can sort of came undone a little bit. Well, it's because I took the plate off. But hopefully, let me zoom in here. Alright, here's the spring here. See, it's easily comes undone, but you feed it, this part here, to the inside of itself, so it puts the tension on the tone arm for the tracking force. So we're just going to take these nice pliers here. See, yeah, there it is. It's all out now. So I know somebody has messed with this before, or this wouldn't have been in the condition that it's in. So yeah, this is going to be a little tricky. Grab that. Yeah. Okay. Nothing like opening up a can of worms. Alright, I'll try to get this plate back on here while I can. Alright, there we go. So, now they got it all back in there. Let's get these screws started back on this plate, and then we'll adjust the tracking force. Let me just zoom it back out here. Whoops, wrong way. Okay, I've currently got it set for all the adjustments. Should be right at about 2.05. See, even right now it keeps going back and forth. 197. Okay. 204, 199, 198, 196, 194. See, this is the problem I've been having. It's not being consistent. So let me trying to do laundry and making a lot of noise. So as with most things, lefty loosey, righty tighty, so just take a small screwdriver. Picked a bad time to do a video. Okay, so let's yeah, 143. Takes a while for it to go back down. It's better than what it was. It used to be, it would, I'm gonna readjust this a little bit. Takes a long time for it to go back down. Oh. First thing I'm going to do is mess this up. So turn that off for now. Okay, it seems to be going better now. Alright, let's test it again. Yeah, I got it too high. Still keeps going up and down, up and down. Well, I think I pretty much got it adjusted. I had to take a pauser there to try to get the counterweight set right. So Let me show you what it does. It's never consistent. It's a little bit higher than what I normally set it at. It's now it's a 206. That's I usually like 2.05. I always set mine at the medium range of what they're. Okay, before I got interrupted. Now, it's still not being 100% consistent, but it's better than it was. At least it's, that tracking force is about right. You know, manufacturers always have the range of where you can set your tracking force. I always set mine in the middle of that range and add on 0.05. So now we're at 2. So see, overall this thing's not being consistent. I think I might just open it back up, and because somebody did recommend on one post I was reading, put just a little bit of oil to get the bearing back up to par, because you know, this is made back in the mid 80s or so. Don't exactly know what year this one was made, but may need just a tad bit of some silicone bearing lube, so we'll go with that. Let me stop here for now. Okay, I took it back apart. Let me point out, I loosen up the nut there because I think somebody tightened this up too tight, and that's why I wasn't getting much of this like I'm supposed to. It's been too tight, and the tracking force is not consistent. It would start out at 210, go down to 200, come back up to 204, 205. Sometimes it'll drop and stay at 205, and then it might go down another 0.1 or 2 or whatever. It just keeps going up and down, and I think it's because this has been too tight. I put a couple drops of oil up here to soak into the bearing. I'm going to tip it up and put some in here, just a drop, just to put a little bit of lube in there to help anything out, since it's rather old. Other than that, let me put it back together after putting a drop of oil in there, and see what kind of tracking force I get on it now. Okay, got it all put back together. Hardest thing is getting the spring wound back inside of itself and set in there so you can get the plate put back in. Once you get that, it's okay. Now, I got this set. Goes down much better. I'm actually getting bounced like a regular Tonearm, which is good. After loosening this up, put a little bit of lube in here on both bearings. Got a lot better play on here, and there's no looseness at all. So let's turn this back on. And let me get this camera over here. Well, let me come back here. I'm going to pop. Okay, I think I finally got it set. It's a little bit more consistent. Okay, there's 206. 205. See, now it's not jumping back and forth, you know, like from 211 to 199 and stuff. It's not jumping back and forth because it's more consistent now. Oh man, that is so much better. I'm glad I reworked this for this video. I'd still be dealing with it being too tight. So 204, 205, that's not bad. This is right where I want it at. One more time. 205. Okay, we're set. So if you have an RB300 Tonearm that you bought used and it's not dropping right, or doing what I showed earlier where the cantilever was doing all the motion rather than the Tonearm riding back and forth with the album, then you've got the bearings are tightened down too tight inside here. So unfortunately somebody played with it when they shouldn't have, setting everything into a downfall. So hopefully this helps anybody out with this Tonearm. I now have mine back in proper working order, so now I can make a couple of videos with this. Alright, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share my video with anybody that you think might need help with their RB300 Tonearm for their Rega. And long live vinyl. Later.